Look here, I was gonna make a video. I had a lot of people asking some questions, and I was gonna title it Top 5 Reasons You Suck at Fishing. But my wife told me that might sound rude. So, top 5 reasons you are having trouble landing fish, I guess. Reason number 1, your hook ain't sharp. I know a lot of people that fish with the same hook for months at a time, and then they start complaining, I'm missing fish, I can't catch a fish. Or that's some of them people that fuss about the circle hooks. I can't catch a fish with a circle hook. Man, how long you've had that fishing hook on your line? It's what do you think? Quick test, run the edge of the hook down your fingernail. If it don't grab, you either get another hook or sharpen the one you got. Reason number 2, you suck at, you have not been well trained at tying knots. I have tutorials on how to tie knots. The 2 most common knots I have are the snail knot and the Palomar knot. That's all I've ever used. Unless you're going fishing for sharks off out in the coast somewhere, really that's the only 2 things you're gonna need. You don't need much better than that. Matter of fact, most of the time I went saltwater fishing, we used Palomar knots on those hooks. They worked fine. I got a ton of people that said, oh, I never use that, I use this, because maybe you ain't tying them right. Maybe you need to go back and watch one of my videos. Get me riled up out here. That's reason number 2. Number 3 reason that you may be losing fish. You're using braided line. That's fine. A lot of people use it, but it doesn't have any give. You will actually rip the hook out of the fish's mouth with braided line. I use mono, and I go into a 60-pound leader. If you want to use braid, that's fine, but you're gonna have to have some type of leader. Either go to a swivel and then your leader, or just go straight from tie 2 uni knots on there, hook them up, they're fine. But you want to go to some type of monofilament leader on probably the last 3 to 5 foot of your line. That way you got some give and some take. That way it ain't quite safe, especially when you get them close to the boat. Because if you've got 6 feet of braided line, you really don't have any tug. And if that fish snatches, a lot of times they'll rip the hook slap out of their mouth. That's why I love monofilament. I don't use braided unless I'm brim fishing. Another reason you may be losing fish is the hook. I know a lot of people that say we fish in the Mississippi River and we'll go to an 8 or a 10-aught hook. But as soon as, like today, when I leave the river and I know I'm going fishing somewhere else, I'll drop down to anywhere from a 3 to a 6, depending on where my next trip's going, because we kind of plan it out. And if I know where I'm going, I get all my gear ready for where I'm going to fish, not leave everything on from the last place I just fished. So if you got a 10-aught hook on your line and you minnow fishing in a creek, son, your fishing hook is too big. Go to a smaller hook. Those small creek fish can't get that big hook in their mouth. Don't use them. And reason number 5, you suck, you're having trouble hooking fish, is your bait is too big. You barely hook through the bottom of that hook. You don't want a great big chunk of bait on your hook in between there. You just barely hook the bait. If you want to use something that's huge, I don't care if you're fishing with 2x4s out there. You barely hook that 2x4 and let the rest of it hang out the bottom side of the hook. If you got too much of that bait inside the tooth patch where the fish bites at, the fish can't even get to the point of the hook. You got too much bait in the way. You want to drop that down and have your bait below the hook. That's number 5. Reason number 6 of the top 5 reasons that you ain't able to catch a fish, if you using cut bait or live bait, when you hook through there, make sure you get that scale off the end. Just about every time I hook my hook through there, there's a scale that pops off and it is on the tip of your hook. Get that scale off of there. That's number 6 of the top 5 reasons you suck it, that you're not pulling fish in. Number 7 of the top 5 reasons you suck at fishing. You got weak spots in your line. You are losing the hook. You're losing your swivels. You're losing everything because you got hung up last time, or you fought one through the rocks, or you had to drag one 20 foot up a bank and you didn't redo the last 15 feet of your line, and you've got nicks and scrapes and scratches and all kind of stuff in your line. And then you say, oh man, that thing was so big, it just broke my line and I got 50-pound test. Yeah, and it was already cut in half and you had a 12-pound fish on there, man. Quit lying. Fix your line before you go. Take your finger, run it down through there 10 or 12 feet of your line and just see if you feel anything. If you don't, good to go. If you feel anything, man, replace your line. All right, just a quick recap. Probably the most important thing is gonna be your line. Make sure it doesn't have nicks in it. And the number 2 reason people miss a lot of fish is right here. There's your hook. There's your bait. Make sure that your bait is below the hook, like this. You hook it, and it is below the hook. Don't hook it like this and have it up in there like that. You ain't gonna catch no fish like that. Even y'all done made me sacrifice a piece of my chicken sandwich. There goes my last bite of lunch. Anyway. Don't fish like that. That ain't how you fish, man. How you gonna catch a fish like that? You want your bait below your hook, down there. Just barely nick it, and that way you got all that open gap to hook up with your fish. Y'all thought I was gonna throw that away. This is James Downs with Downs Family Bullets. Check your line. Bait your hook right. Is your hook sharp against the fingernail? Check that. Dang gnats out here. Hey, I'll holler at y'all later, man. Y'all have a good one.